have you ever stopped to consider the intricate operation behind the stage of global power? What would happen if there was a hidden truth for a long time, ready to remodel our understanding of the future? In recent years, rumors of intrigue have begun to circulate that have led to convincing theories. We have observed strange coincidences, inexplicable patterns, and interconnected events that seem to challenge conventional logic, insinuating a hidden reality. But now a narrative is beginning to emerge, potentially of long reach, that demands our attention. Donald Trump's youngest son, Barron, has always maintained a rather enigmatic presence. Often relegated to the periphery of the attention of the media, he is still largely an unknown figure. We know relatively little about his personal life, his ambitions, or, most importantly, his future trajectory. But what if there was a deep and underlying reason for this deliberate darkness? What would happen if the reality that surrounded him was so extraordinary that most people would simply refuse to recognize it and discard it as mere fantasy? While the world is still consumed by a whirlwind of political crises, global conflicts, and vertiginous technological advances, a parallel and clandestine narrative is slowly developing before our very eyes. Elon Musk, a widely regarded visionary figure as one of the most influential innovators of our time, recently made an unexpected statement. This apparently harmless comment has the potential to be directly related to ancient prophecies, the unceasing advance of artificial intelligence, and even a meticulously elaborated plan that remains a mystery to the vast majority of the world's population. The truly crucial element lies in the clues themselves. These clues and suggestions have been present all the time, intertwined in the fabric of history, from ancient prophetic texts to contemporary events. Everything seems to converge towards a scenario that goes beyond the very limits of human understanding. In essence, we have been witnesses to the fulfillment of a predicted destiny for centuries. Today, we embark on a journey to unravel the mysteries surrounding Elon Musk's surprising statement and expose critical details that could forever alter his perspective of reality. But there remains a fundamental question. Are we really prepared to face and accept the truth, however disturbing it may be? Before delving into this research, I humbly ask you to consider the profound meaning of prayer in these uncertain times. In an era marked by ambiguities, unanswered questions, and events that challenge our intellectual capacity, maintaining a connection with a higher power becomes more crucial than ever. Only through the spiritual bond can we hope to achieve the discernment and inner peace necessary to navigate these turbulent waters. I encourage you to leave your personal prayer requests in the comments section below. Let us build a powerful chain of faith, interceding for each other in these difficult times. If you believe in the power of prayer, I invite you to write Amen and share your intentions with the community. I will personally read and pray with each and every one of you. And right now, if you can like this video so that it can be suggested to more people, helping this message to reach a wider audience. Remember to subscribe to this channel to make sure you continue to receive future revelations and ideas. The information we are about to discuss has the potential to redefine everything you thought you knew. Have you ever noticed that Elon Musk rarely speaks without a clearly defined purpose? Every word he pronounces, every tweet he posts, and every public appearance he makes seems to be charged with a deeper meaning. He does not limit himself to launching rockets into space. He also launches ideas into the collective consciousness, generating doubts, feeding speculation, and in many cases, infusing a feeling of apprehension. Musk is much more than a simple successful businessman. He is an architect of narratives, someone who seems to have a much greater understanding of the world and its trajectory than he publicly reveals. But what precise intention is hidden behind his mention of the Barron Trump? Elon Musk has previously made several statements that seem to work as predictions of a future that only a few can understand. He has issued harsh warnings about the potential dangers of an unbridled artificial intelligence. He has advocated the urgent need to colonize Mars and has even suggested the possibility that we are living within a sophisticated simulation. While some may rule out these notions as mere reflections of a bright but eccentric mind, there is often a deeper resonance in his pronunciations. What would happen if Elon Musk were not simply speculating about future potentials, but were actively preparing the world for events that he already knows are destined to occur? Adding another layer of intrigue to this situation is the fact that Musk is far from being a common and ordinary individual. He has access to information and knowledge that would be unimaginable for the vast majority of the population. He is at the forefront of some of the most transformative technological revolutions of our era. Through SpaceX, he is actively exploring the vast extension of space and developing technologies with the potential to irrevocably alter the course of humanity. With Neuralink, he is a pioneer in advances in the fusion of man and machine, drawing the lines between biology and technology. And with Tesla, he is not only revolutionizing the automotive industry, but is also fundamentally remodeling our approach to energy consumption and technological integration. Given the immensity of the world and the multitude of people to whom he could have referred, why the Barron Trump? Why point out the youngest son of the former president of the United States? A young man who has always remained out of the media's attention and rarely makes public appearances. What characteristic or unique attribute distinguishes him? What many do not realize is that Musk has a curious tendency to inadvertently reveal hidden truths, often disguised as apparently random comments or casual comments. Throughout his career, Musk has spoken of concepts that initially seemed absurd, only to witness them materialize in reality years later. When he declared that artificial intelligence represented a greater threat than nuclear weapons, many dismissed their concerns for considering them alarmist. Today, governments and leading scientists around the world actively participate in debating and addressing the very real dangers that the IAEA presents to humanity. When he stated that Mars could be colonized and that humanity should become a multiplanetary species to ensure its long-term survival, it sounded like something taken directly from a science fiction novel. Now, both companies and governments are investing billions of dollars to transform this vision into a tangible reality. Therefore, when Elon Musk makes a direct reference to Barron Trump, we cannot afford to ignore it. His words are never chosen carelessly or pronounced at random. Without a doubt, there is a deeper meaning embedded in his statement, something potentially related to the future, something possibly connected with a more grandiose and overarching plan. What would happen if Barron Trump were not simply a common and ordinary young man destined for a normal life? What happens if the story of his life is being elaborated meticulously with a specific purpose in mind, a purpose that we still have to fully understand? It is possible that Musk has offered a subtle but significant clue on something much more substantial than we can currently imagine. After a more detailed examination, it is evident that Elon Musk and Donald Trump, while not explicitly close allies, have never been openly hostile to each other. Both are disruptive figures who defy the established order and frequently make statements that shake the foundations of global power structures. Both have faced a ferocious resistance of powerful elites that seem determined to control the future trajectory of humanity. What would happen if these two formidable forces connected in some unexpected way? What happens if Musk perceives something inside Barron Trump that remains invisible to everyone else? The truth is that we are facing a complex mystery that may be just beginning to unravel. Musk's statements are never arbitrary or coincidental. Each word he chooses has a hidden weight, and it is our responsibility to connect the pieces of this intricate puzzle. If Elon Musk specifically points to Barron Trump, then we must go deeper and ask ourselves, what does he know that we do not? Barron Trump has always been an enigma to the general public. Unlike Donald Trump's eldest children, who constantly appear in the media and actively participate in both business and politics, Barron, for the most part, has grown away from the public sight. His appearances are scarce, his statements infrequent, and the information detailed about his life is scarce. This deliberate absence of the media is not only a matter of personal privacy. In fact, it can be part of a carefully considered strategy. Throughout history, many great leaders have remained hidden from the public until the precise moment of their ascent to power came. The historical figures who remodeled the world often spent years in anonymity, subjecting themselves to rigorous preparation before being presented to humanity as the fundamental element of a new era. The essential question remains, what makes Barron Trump so markedly different? Why is he surrounded by such a strong veil of secrecy? And perhaps more importantly, what is the underlying purpose behind this deliberate darkness? Why would Elon Musk, one of the most influential and visionary figures of our time, specifically mention this young man in the context of his statements, which are often related to important future events? In recent years, we have witnessed an unprecedented acceleration in technological development and the rapid expansion of artificial intelligence. Elon Musk has not only accurately predicted this advance, but has also actively contributed to its progress. Neuralink is actively developing computer-brain interfaces that promise to connect the human brain directly to machines, a feat that seemed impossible just a few years ago. Tesla is implementing artificial intelligence at a level that is fundamentally redefining our relationship with automation. And Twitter, now X under its command, is rapidly becoming a powerful platform, a data center, an intelligence center, and a human behavior arbiter. In essence, Musk is creating a complex ecosystem where technology, information, and power converge in a single point. Now, let's consider the scenario of a young man like Barron Trump growing up in an environment where these powerful forces cross and interact. Reports suggest that Barron has an intelligence far superior to average. His teachers have constantly noticed his exceptional cognitive skills. From a very young age, he has shown a unique and convincing interest in technology, programming, and science. This is where the narrative takes a particularly intriguing turn. What would happen if Barron Trump were not simply an ordinary young man, but someone who is being intentionally prepared for a much more significant role in the world stage? Just like Elon Musk is actively shaping the future of technology, it is plausible that Barron is being meticulously shaped for a future in the field of global politics. Throughout history, powerful families have constantly exerted a considerable influence on the course of events. Dynasties often dictate the direction of the world behind closed doors, and their true plans and intentions are rarely revealed until it is too late for the public to react effectively. But what if this time the key element involves a powerful combination of traditional political power, avant-garde technological influence, and a mind carefully prepared from an early age to navigate this world in rapid evolution? What would happen if Barron Trump represented much more than a simple promising young man? What if, in fact, he is a symbol of something much more grandiose and transformative? It is possible that the name Barron was not chosen at random. Donald Trump, known for his astute knowledge of the personal brand and marketing, probably selected this name with a specific meaning and purpose in mind. The name Barron has connotations of nobility, power, and authority, imbuing the young man with a deep sense of symbolism. In addition, his mother, Melania Trump, is still an exceptionally reserved and strategic figure. Melania speaks several languages fluently and has a family history that is still largely unknown to the public. Melania has constantly protected Barron from unnecessary exposure, but the fundamental question remains: why? What is the underlying purpose of keeping this young man out of the spotlight? The examination of historical patterns reveals a recurring theme. Many great figures were formed in secret, protected from public scrutiny, before emerging at the precisely opportune moment to assume the roles that were destined for them. What we are witnessing today could be a modern manifestation of this same phenomenon. While the vast majority of the world remains focused on daily headlines, political distractions, and momentary scandals, something much more substantial may be unfolding behind the scenes. The new generation of leaders will probably differ significantly from their predecessors. They will not simply arise from traditional political parties, but from the intersection of technology, artificial intelligence, and social control mechanisms. Musk has repeatedly warned that we are rapidly approaching a future in which the fusion of man and machine will be inevitable. Not only does he speak of this future, he is actively creating tools and technologies to make it a reality. Now, let's imagine a young man who has grown inside this increasingly integrated universe, with access to information and technologies that are not available to the general public. A young man who has the potential to serve as a bridge between traditional politics and the emerging technocracy of the future. This scenario would help explain why Elon Musk specifically mentioned Barron Trump, suggesting that he may be aware of certain plans and patterns that are largely unnoticed by the rest of the world. What if Barron Trump is destined to be the first of a new era of leaders who govern not only based on traditional ideologies but rather on ideas based on data that are independent of incendiary rhetoric, trusting instead in total control over information and technology? Artificial intelligence is already influencing elections, manipulating financial markets, and controlling narratives. The next logical step would be a leader who not only understands but also dominates this power structure in rapid evolution. If Elon Musk has made a specific statement about Barron Trump, we cannot afford to rule it out. We must actively connect the dots. analyze the evidence available, and strive to understand the true nature of what is developing before our eyes. The world is immersed in a transformation, a metamorphosis so deep that its signals are almost ubiquitous. Can you discern the patterns engraved in these movements, the subtle underlying currents that drive us forward? Reflect, so to speak, on the concept of vision. Are you beginning to suspect that a broader narrative is developing behind the mysterious figure, Barron Trump? What makes him such an enigma? The children of presidents are often thrown into the relentless gaze of the reflectors and their lives dissected and documented by voracious media. Each step is recorded, each word is analyzed. However, the history of Barron is markedly deviated from this established norm. From his early years, a carefully built privacy shield has protected him from public scrutiny. His appearances have been infrequent. His practically non-existent pronunciations and his open political presence are still remarkably subtle. But what is the reason behind this deliberate obfuscation? Born in an environment of incomparable power and influence, Barron's education was all but ordinary. His father, Donald Trump, is a former president and one of the most polarizing figures in modern history. His mother, Melania Trump, has constantly cultivated a low and strategic profile, in stark contrast to the most public personalities of the wives of other leaders. While Melania may have seemed to avoid being the center of attention, a more restrained examination reveals a figure of strategic depth. It is conceivable that she has devised a much more complex plan than we currently appreciate. Born in 2006, Barron came into the world at the zenith of the empire in the expansion of his father. He grew up in the midst of a splendid luxury, aware of high-risk negotiations, strategic planning sessions, and powerful speeches. However, even in this environment, his distance from the media continued to be notoriously clear. Unlike his brothers, Ivanka, Donald Jr., and Eric, who constantly sought the attention of the public, Barron remained enclosed. This rarely deliberate protection is a coincidence. Throughout history, the influential figures have often been meticulously cultivated in the shadows, nurtured until the precise moment of their revelation. There are plenty of rumors about Barron's exceptional intellect. Sources close to the family suggest that he is a polyglot who has an advanced understanding of technology. If these statements are true, Barron may represent something more than the younger son of a former president. He could be going through a profound transformation, destined for a role that transcends mere politics and touches the very trajectory of humanity. The world is evolving rapidly, and the digital era exerts an increasingly greater dominance over society. The true power now resides in the hands of those who handle information and technology with mastery. Elon Musk, a visionary of our time, understands this change of paradigm perhaps better than anyone else. His investments go far beyond rockets and electric vehicles. He is investing in the very future of human consciousness. Neuralink, artificial intelligence, and data control are converging to remodel the world as we know it. Could Barron Trump be inextricably linked to this emerging order? Does Musk perceive qualities in Barron that are imperceptible to most? Is he a prodigy in swans? A leader prepared for greatness? A hidden genius waiting to be revealed at the right time? The pieces of this enigmatic puzzle are beginning to fit, and the answer may be closer than we think. Are we ready to see the truth? Are you starting to suspect that a much greater narrative is being developed? In fact, Barron Trump has always been an enigma, and where there is mystery, theories abound. People from all over the world have begun to notice unusual patterns regarding the young man. While some of these theories are merely speculative, others are backed by evidence convincing enough to make even the most acerbic skeptics reflect. Among the most convincing is the connection between Barron Trump and the 19th century novel The Last President, written by Ingersoll Lockwood. This narrative focuses on a young man named Barron who jumps to fame during a period of significant transformation for the United States. A mere coincidence? Maybe. However, Lockwood is also the author of another book, Travels and Adventures of Little Barron Trump, which presents a young protagonist who resides in a mansion called Trump Castle and receives the tutelage of a teacher named Dawn. The parallels are surprising and lead many to believe that these books may have a prophetic background. Barron's unique behavior gives more firewood to this fire. Even when his brothers are always looking for attention, Barron seems to avoid it. It is claimed that he may have a strategic mind and that he is prepared for a future that no one predicts. Others suggest that he could be involved in something much bigger than simply being the key player in a plan that involves artificial intelligence, technology, and global power. And if Elon Musk knows it and is trying to give us clues, all connections are there. The world is going through a great transformation, and those who control the future are no longer only in governments but also in the technology sector. The question is, will Barron Trump be a leader who will change the course of history, or is he already part of something much bigger that we still cannot see? Elon Musk is not an ordinary man. He has shown many times that his statements have profound meanings and, often, predictions that come true. When Musk says something, the world listens, and when he mentions Barron Trump, we cannot ignore it. Musk has already warned about the dangers of artificial intelligence, the colonization of Mars, and even the possible collapse of humanity if we do not take certain precautions. He is not only an eccentric multimillionaire but also a strategist who seems to have information that most people do not have access to. So, when he mentions Barron Trump, the question we should ask ourselves is not why, but what does he know? Let's think about it. Technology is advancing at an alarming rate. Artificial intelligence is already making decisions for us, shaping elections, manipulating markets, and even influencing human behavior. Musk is at the center of everything. He is developing technologies that could completely change the way we live. Now, let's imagine a young man like Barron Trump growing up in this environment, having access to information and technologies that most people have no idea exist. Musk sees Barron as a possible leader for this new era, or tries to warn us about something. The global elite has always operated in the shadows, preparing their next leaders without the public noticing. What we are seeing could be exactly that, a new generation of energy emerging and Musk simply giving us clues about a plan that is already underway. What does this mean for the future? We are at the birth of a new type of leader, a hybrid between the political world and the technological world, someone who can understand and control it at a level never seen before. The answers may be closer than we imagine. If there is something that Elon Musk does better than anyone else, is to position himself exactly where he needs to be at the right time. Not only does he build technological empires, but he also maintains connections with the most powerful figures on the planet. What few people realize is that, over the years, Musk and Donald Trump have had a relationship that went from respect to rivalry, and possibly something much deeper. During Trump's administration, Musk was a peculiar figure. He never declared himself fully aligned with Trump's ideas, but he did not face them directly. On the contrary, while other billionaires distanced themselves from the former president, Musk maintained a neutral and strategic tone. When Trump implemented policies that benefited the technology and innovation industry, Musk knew how to take advantage of them. When there were disagreements, Musk never completely broke the ties, and that is where an interesting detail arises. The Trump family and Musk share something similar about the future. Both believe that technology, the economy, and artificial intelligence will play a fundamental role in the restructuring of the world. Now let's think about the following. If Elon Musk were really concerned about the course of humanity, with the uncontrolled advance of AI and absolute digital control, would not be interested in connecting with a family that has a huge political and media influence. It will be even more so if there is someone who can shape the future both in the private sector and in the government. It would be a young man who grew up within a power structure but at the same time remains an enigma for the public. Could Barron Trump be that figure? The connection between Musk and the Trumps may not be obvious, but it exists. Both challenge the traditional system, both have a long-term vision, and both understand that true power resides in the domain of technology and information. It is no coincidence that Musk acquired Twitter, transforming it into Platform X, a data control center and global political influence. It is also no coincidence that Trump has created his own media platform, understanding that the information war will be the most important battlefield in the coming decades. If Musk mentions Barron Trump, it is not because he wants to cause a free controversy. It is because something bigger is happening behind the scenes, a development plan that could completely redefine how we understand power, leadership, and global influence. The question we must ask is Barron Trump prepared for something? And Musk, with his ability to see trends before anyone else, did he realize this before the rest of the world? The advancement of artificial intelligence is not just a technological issue but a complete change in the structure of global power. Elon Musk has warned several times that AI could be one of the greatest existential risks for humanity, but at the same time he participates directly in the development of this technology. Why would someone who fears AI so much invest billions in perfecting it? The answer may be in the desire to control what is inevitably to come. Musk understands that the future will be dominated by those who have control of artificial intelligence. It is no longer about governments or corporations, but about who will have access to the most advanced algorithms, the most powerful neural networks, and the ability to shape reality through data manipulation. And here comes a crucial point. Barron Trump grew up exactly at the moment this revolution occurs. If there is an ideal moment to prepare a leader who understands the deep functioning of AI and knows how to use it to his advantage, that moment is now. Artificial intelligence is rapidly transcending its initial perception as a mere tool for automation and convenience. It is evolving towards a decisive force capable of influencing elections, manipulating the complexities of financial markets, shaping consumer behavior, and, perhaps most importantly, controlling the same narratives that define our understanding of the world. AI's modern platforms have the disconcerting ability to predict human behavior with alarming precision, analyzing patterns and formulating answers even before individuals are aware of their own actions. This predictive ability raises profound questions about free will, autonomy, and the potential for manipulation on an unprecedented scale. Let us consider the potential impact of such technology in the hands of a strategically astute person, someone expert in navigating the intricate panorama of the digital world and shaping it in his favor. The apparently casual mention of Elon Musk to Barron Trump raises intriguing possibilities. Could it be more than insinuating the idea that the next generation of influential figures will be those who dominate technology and artificial intelligence? Is Barron being meticulously prepared to play that role, not only to perpetuate a political dynasty, but to lead something much greater? Could the true goal be a perfect fusion of political power, technological innovation, and absolute digital dominance? As the world continues to be obsessed with fleeting political scandals and cyclical financial crises, the fundamental decisions that will ultimately shape the trajectory of humanity are silently taking place in the sacred corridors of powerful technological companies. Giants like Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, Google, and OpenAI are effectively shaping the course of social evolution. Traditional political structures are becoming more and more irrelevant in the face of the immense power exercised by these technological conglomerates. It is in this context that figures like Elon Musk and Barron Trump emerge as potentially fundamental actors. Musk has already shown a profound understanding of the dynamic changing of power, recognizing that governments are becoming increasingly dependent on technology and that the true authority will soon no longer reside in politicians, but in technocrats. The reality that is often overlooked is that the next generation of leaders will require something more than political perspicacity. They will have to be experts in navigating a world where artificial intelligence, data control, and digital influence are the true coins of power. Barron Trump could be a key component in this equation in evolution. Unlike traditional politicians who are still struggling to adapt,